Hey folks, Editing Joey here. This is the second part of a two-part podcast, so if you haven't already, make sure you listen to the first part of the podcast from last week, and when you're done listening to that, come back here for the second part. Enjoy.
Because I've always liked Macca's hotcakes and McDonald's hotcakes.
I do like hotcakes as well. I like the whipped butter that they give you with the hotcakes.
I can eat it by itself. You would yell at me. It's like the milk. It's like the half and half milk stuff. That's amazing here.
David drinks half and half out of the...
so good.
One time we were out to a restaurant somewhere a while ago.
IHOP. It was IHOP in Vegas for the first EDC.
You remember for some reason.
Because all the SF people were looking at me like I'm a crazy person. And you kept taking them away from me.
It was probably IHOP because it was one of those restaurants where like they just had the little tiny single serving containers of the half and half just sitting on the table.
Like
because
a
in some
single
places
dose.
like they just have like the syrup, the half and half, the sugar just at every table.
It tasted really good.
And he just kept drinking the little tiny little cups of half and half. I'm thinking like that's not for you to drink. It's for like coffee.
I kept dosing them because they were so nice. It was like it's a little cup, and I'm like, this is not enough.
It's not for you to drink.
Like, I thought they were like mini cups of milk, and I'm like, I thought it was for kids.
They are no, they're for coffee.
But I mean, I don't drink coffee, so can I
But
just
you
have like
serve
5 of them?
coffee on the flights that you work.
We use real milk. Australian, because I know it's an American thing where they're like, oh, I'm like,
cream.
Do you want coffee? Cream. I'm like, it's milk.
So do you know what
and
half and half
the
is?
same thing.
Half and half.
Milk and half sugar. Half cream, half milk.
Yes.
Oh, well, this makes sense. This is why it's amazing.
I've explained it to you before.
This is why it's amazing.
Yes, half milk, half cream.
But do you have any in your fridge?
No.
But do you have it when you're outside? You didn't use that.
Before
you went
the only time where I drink coffee out and about is actually on a plane. So sometimes on a plane, I might get coffee.
Yep.
Depending on like if I'm trying to like adjust to the jet, like our time zone or whatever.
Got it.
And if I do order coffee, they'll always ask, do you want cream and sugar?
Yep.
And that's where I'll say, yeah, I'll do cream and sugar for that.
I actually always forget. So out of our flights out of America, they do normally load. No one ever knows about it. I never known uses it.
Insider secrets right here.
Anyways, there actually is a lot of the times in the business class cabin, a one little, I don't know what,
a bit.
300 mils, I don't know, a little bit.
Like a small bottle.
One small carton of milk, half and half. It's purple, I think. Anyways,
that's probably for the coffee.
Yeah, but no, because no one asked for it. No one knows about it. So then I use it for my hot chocolate. And I use it to drink about.
So the thing is, when you guys serve coffee to people on the plane,
yes.
So they say like, "Oh, I have a passenger says I'll have a coffee."
Yep.
And do you ask them, "Do you want?"
Yes.
Milk.
Definitely.
You say milk. You don't say cream.
No. Australians don't use that word for that.
So you say milk. Do you want milk, sugar? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Milk or sugar.
And if they say they want milk, what do you give them?
Okay.
Not the half and half.
I'm gonna roll my eyes, but firstly, I'm not rolling up my eyes because of what you said.
Yeah.
Generally. What happens a lot is
just the inside tea right here.
Do you want coffee or tea? Inside tea. And it's like, okay, coffee. I'm like, okay, black, or do you want milk or just black, please. So then I'd make the coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, can I have some milk? It's
like, so but the thing is, here's the thing. Yeah, I understand like that's annoying from like the service point of view. It's like if you like people should know how they want their coffee, unless it's like some 16-year-old that's trying to order coffee for the first time because they think, oh, it's so adult, blah blah blah. Usually, people that actually drink coffee, they'll be like milk and they'll know how they want to take it.
No. That's the problem. Is not how they want it; it's how they communicate what they want.
They don't tell you everything right away.
But we ask you for that reason. Like we're prompting you, and you give me the wrong prompt.
So and then they change their mind, or they
if you tell me it's a black, I want a black tea. And okay, and so with milk.
How often does that happen?
Like once every flight. That's
annoying.
Infuriating. It is just.
But that's clearly from someone that doesn't usually drink coffee or tea.
Yeah, but like the other 250 passengers were like got it right. So, bro, just let me know. Just let us know. We can't read your mind, so we will prompt you for these things to make it almost fail safe.
Do you have to try really hard to not roll your eyes when that happens?
It's part of my job. I literally have my eye muscles, the wrinkles are from like resisting the eye roll. It is crazy because something that also happens every single flight is somehow they step on a plane and just their IQ drops 200 points. Like there are people who do not know how to push a door open for the lavatory.
I've seen that. That I kind of understand a little bit. As a frequent flyer, but not as someone who works a flight, but as like I've seen it enough because I think people, for someone who rarely ever flies, and a lot of people don't read signs. Like that's just a truth.
The problem. Yes,
that's just like a general truth, not specific to like flying on a plane. Just in everyday life, a lot of people don't that's a whole other can of worms, and there's like a lot of psychological other reasons for it that we don't have time to unpack, and we're not scientists. But people don't tend to always see the sign that says push. The letters push is gigantic, I know, but I see it, and I'm used to flying, and the vast majority of doors, bathroom doors on an aircraft are you push.
Yep, with the giant hand sign that says push.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but the thing is, people are not expecting a push door for people that don't fly very often.
Yeah,
and they expect it's a type of door that folds in half, but you push it into fold, which is not a type of door you encounter in the normal world. So the people that don't really fly ever, they're not used to that type of a door, for one, and most people don't tend to see any signage. Number two, it also could be that they go into the bathroom when the lights are dimmed down, so that makes it even harder for them to see it. I'm not saying, I'm kind of sort of making excuses.
You are making a million excuses.
I know, but I can understand how someone who doesn't fly and the cabin is dim and most people are not reading signs. That's why they but eventually they do figure it out. For like 5 or 10 seconds, they'd be like fighting with the door. But usually when I see that on a plane, eventually 5 or 10 seconds later, they try to like pull the door and they're like, it doesn't pull, and they look at it. And then eventually they do figure out you have to push.
Well, the thing is, if I'm like close, I will like let them have the full gamut of emotions as they're like trying to.
I think they should just figure out how to do it.
They look at you, or I'll wait until I'm just standing there. I mean, I could at any point stop this, but I'm just like, okay.
No, but if they figure it out themselves, they learn the lesson. It's like, oh, they figured it out themselves. They learned something.
Yeah. So some of them, I'm just, I leave it to maybe 12 seconds, and I'm like, oh yeah, just like a normal door, just push, and that's enough as a prompt somehow to figure it out, even though they couldn't figure it out earlier. I have had people like try to open the little no smoking thing, and they're just like, I've had people trying to like open small cupboards, like little, like you can see the outline of this, and they're like, I'm like, what the hell? We've also have doors with handles, and somehow
the doors with handles pull out usually. They tend to be the handicap ones.
Okay, look, it's going to be 50-50, push or pull. They just are like,
well, the thing is, like, it just takes the mind. I mean, let's put it this way. How many times have we been hanging out and you walk up to a door, not on a plane, and you have not been able to work it on the first try?
I am
probably
have an undiagnosed mental illness. Like I have a retardation of brain cells or something, because I can't. Okay, speaking of this, now I'm just fully
full circle. Let's bring it back to you.
I really struggle with kids safe things,
childproof things,
like the pool.
Do you struggle getting your drugs out of the container? There's a lot of drug containers are childproof. You have to push and turn at the same time.
Yeah, my fingers are like,
you push with your palm. You push with your palm and you can just no one's taught you how to open your pill bottles.
I'm like child safe. I can't. If a child safe, I'll be out.
But you are a child.
100%. But weirdly enough, I mean, interestingly, we talk about the doors because I did actually read or watch a fascinating documentary about a door engineer, where they're like, a door actually outside of the plane, because I think people act differently on a plane for whatever reason.
Yeah.
If you see a door, if it's designed well, a person should be able to intuit how to open it easily.
That's correct. Yeah.
With whatever it is, signs, like the length of the handle, where it is, you should be able to intuit very quickly how to operate it.
It's like subconscious basically for most people.
So and that's probably the majority of doors. You do it without even thinking about it.
Yeah.
When you run into a door that's maybe poorly designed, then you're like, okay, well, this is not a me issue. This is
a design thing.
Issue.
Yeah, I should have a book on this.
Yeah, maybe it was just really fascinating. You don't think about some of the things that people think about.
Exactly. I should have books on this, but this is an area that I'm very interested in.
It's very bizarre.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got this book called, I think it's called The Design of Everyday Things. And it talks about basic things about like the handle on a mug and like how a door opens, and like you subconsciously learn like, oh, when you if you're about to enter a house, you expect the door to swing in. Mm-hmm. If it's like an office building, you kind of expect the reverse.
Yep.
Right? You expect to go into like a big office building or like a hospital, whatever. You usually think you need to pull the door. Yeah. So these little things, your brain gets like that intuition just like as you grow up around these things.
Yeah.
So when there's something that, like on the airplane, the door is like, well, it's a folding door, which is weird. Mm-hmm. And the folding door that pushes in is even weirder. So like people that don't fly all the time, it's easy to say like, well, this is a stupid person. They should be reading the sign. But in a way, something like a door should be intuitive.
Yeah, it should be. And I do know the bifold doors are not common. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
And it really is. It happens every flight, but it is the vast minority of people because you have the 1 or 2 people who are just seem to be incapable of opening it. You have the other 98% who can figure it out, and you have the 1% who it takes a little while and then they figure it out.
I feel like the people,
and a lot of them are older, to be fair, or foreign.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, there's doors in China or whatever. But I just realized, did you talk about me opening containers, drugs? Are you allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, like prescription drugs are not illegal. I'm not talking about illegal drugs.
Opening drug containers? I'm like, bro, what the hell? Like
No,
a dose? A dose of G?
No, like when I take my Discovery for prep every night, that's in a child-proof bottle where I have to push on the lid and twist so like kids can't get into it. It's not illegal drugs.
Because I was like, wait a second. When would I ever open containers of drugs, legal or illegal? Like that's for me. That's actually
prescription drugs that your doctor prescribed for you.
But for me, that's actually it's weirdly annoying. But I know how to open them.
You have to push and twist at the same time.
Maybe it's a Western thing too. I actually don't know how if it is in Asia, but I'm assuming it's just a push and twist.
Yeah, that's the child-resistant design. So you have to push and twist at the same time.
Linked to, I mean, not the because I really don't pull drugs out of containers. What is annoying is pulling the lid off the creamer, that 50-50 crap. Bro, it is so annoying.
You want to pull the lid off of it completely or just to open it?
Either. I struggle with
I've never had that problem.
Peeling labels. There you go. That's something more specific.
Okay, peeling labels is different.
I struggle with peeling labels. I struggle with saran wrap, I think you call it.
Saran,
I struggle with ribbons. I struggle with delicate things.
Yes.
I have delicate lady fingers, but I really struggle
I don't think you have delicate fingers.
I can't tie shoelaces like most people. I do the basic child loop.
I don't know how I tie. Are there different ways to tie shoes?
Yeah,
I don't know.
The vast majority of people would have done like a rabbit through the hole.
All I know is I had Velcro shoes until I was like 8 or 9 because I didn't learn to tie my shoelaces until maybe later than most other kids.
I learned it, but I do it like a really basic, stupid way.
I don't think there's like a stupid way to do it. As long as your shoes are tied, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to do it. Are your shoes tied? Yes or no?
They are.
It's not rocket science.
It was similar to me because I couldn't figure it out.
But as long as I mean, there might be different ways to tie it. But
yes.
I feel like as long as your shoes are tied, it doesn't matter.
It's a really weird out-of-body experience because as an adult, I'm like, oh, you learn how to do it and it's really easy because you're an adult.
You get used to it.
And I'm almost like, but I can't. I've now had years of doing it the other way. And now I'm like, this way is much more simple.
Wait. But what happened for you to have to learn a different way of tying your shoes?
I didn't have to. It just randomly came up. I'm like,
I didn't even know different ways to tie your shoes. I just thought I just tied my shoes one way and I never thought about it ever again.
You know, you have the 2 strings and you do the first thing. Everyone does it the same way. The first thing is the same. You cross over and pull. Then I make 2 ribbons and do the same thing again.
I've never thought about how I tie my shoes. I just do it. So I don't even know from your description whether I'm doing it the same way or not.
No, I guarantee you. I'll make a bet.
Half the time I don't even tie my shoes anymore though because they're tied and
you slip them in.
I get the type of sneakers where it stretches enough that you can just shove your foot in and you don't have to retie it every time.
Yeah, my work shoes are loafers with no laces. You ruin the backs of them, but I don't care.
I don't care. I'm not good at taking care of shoes though. I'm not good at taking care of shoes.
Oh, me too. Just get new ones. I don't clean them, and I just get new ones.
I also don't like nice shoes. I don't like fancy things. I don't like Louis Vuitton this or that.
Yeah, no, I don't like fancy
things. I'm not good at taking care of stuff.
I just destroy them. I don't see any intrinsic value in the label. So I'm like, if it functions the way it does, just do it.
Yeah.
But it was just out of curiosity that I knew how to do a shoelace. It might have been linked to someone asking me about the tie.
Comment down below on the YouTube version of this podcast if you think there are different ways to
tie shoelaces.
Because I've never looked into it. I learned when I was a kid eventually how to tie my shoes, and I just never ever thought about it again.
Because I can tie a tie. I can tie a tie multiple.
I can't tie a tie. I don't know how. But you have to know how to tie a tie because you have to do it on a regular, right?
No, because secretly they're Velcro.
Okay. I don't know how to tie.
It's actually for safety. I have to do it once properly.
So you can't strangle yourself by accident.
So people can't strangle yourself. If they pull we're actually not supposed to have dangly things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
To get caught in or people get.
It makes sense from a safety point of view, but yeah. I don't know how to tie a tie.
Oh yeah,
I've never really had to wear a tie for anything.
I think it's pretty common. I'm sure if you looked up how to tie a tie, the first video on YouTube would have 20 million views or whatever.
Probably. Right? I just never really had to learn, so I just never did.
But thank God we're in this generation now where you can literally learn anything you want on the internet or on YouTube.
For better or worse.
For learning purposes, for the better, yeah. But there are definitely bad.
You gotta be careful about learning everything just via the internet. But certain things, like you just don't know the source you're getting your information from, and whether that's like reliable or not.
Well, for things like tying shoelaces,
Yeah, for something basic, that's like sometimes things you see on the internet, like for more advanced things, not like tying your shoes or tying a tie, but like sometimes the stuff you learn is like incomplete on the internet, or like it's maybe probably not the best practice, because like any random like I make gay cruise advice videos, but like the words that come out of my mouth maybe is complete crap. Like who knows? Who's there to say whether my advice is good or not?
Yeah, and these days people do mask their sources well, but
people don't even have sources, honestly. They just say like 5 ways to get rich by doing this and blah 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 blah. It's a clickbait half the time. I hate clickbait videos, by the way, on the fucking internet.
What's your clickbait gonna be for this podcast?
I don't have clickbait. I have titles for my podcast because I have to put in a title.
But doesn't your podcast title change all the time?
Yeah, each episode has a different name.
Because it's like he's hot, but you're not hungry.
No, the name of the podcast is the same.
Yeah,
but each episode has a name.
Oh, like,
just like on a TV show, each episode has and every episode has its own title for just that episode, and then it has a description. But like this is more for like YouTube, for example. People will be like, yeah, I just don't like the clickbait shit.
And actually, it
makes me want to not watch the videos. This is more like YouTube specific.
You can see everyone who's done it, because it's the same. It's arrows. It's an excited face, arrows, and that thing, right? And it's like,
yeah. So what there is for YouTube specifically, you do want to create attention-getting thumbnails, because when you're browsing YouTube, you have the thumbnail and like the title to go by whether you're gonna click on something, right? Clickbait basically is when you kind of overpromise and underdeliver.
Yep.
With the thumbnail that you have for a video, as well as like the title.
Yep.
So like people like watching outrageous things. That's why the Real Housewives get so many views. That's why who's that guy? Logan Paul, whatever, Paul Logan, whatever that guy is, that's famous YouTuber. Like, but that's a lot of these famous YouTubers. Eventually, they just like do outrageous things just for clicks.
Okay.
Just to get, because they're doing something outrageous. Like people are attracted to that.
What's he famous for?
I don't know. He's some sort of YouTube person that got famous. I don't really follow a lot of YouTubers, so.
But that's, I'm like, how do you get famous as a YouTuber? I guess I just don't.
Oh, that's a whole other can of worms that that I don't know how to unpack.
Was this on your memory list of things to talk about?
No.
And was milk talking? That was not.
You brought up the milk.
Bro, it is so nice.
I
need to remember on the flight tonight. I'll drink some.
I cannot in good mind recommend
milk.
People generally drink half and half.
But why isn't it? Why is it bad though?
It's a lot of fat.
I was confusing.
It's a lot of saturated animal fat in it. That's not necessarily very healthy for you.
So this is what I was confused.
Well, not in the way that you drink it. You were drinking it by like the capful, multiple capfuls.
I would drink a cup though, and people were yelling. Like these people were like, "Oh, you shouldn't do this." I'm like, "Why? I don't understand."
I mean, it's just not very healthy to do that, and it's not typically consumed that way.
We were at an IHOP, so I'm like, guys, I don't understand. Like,
I think it's just so out of the norm that's why people wanted to tell you, because it was so out of the norm.
I was blown away by how everyone thought it was. I'm like, how what in a weird world where it was just very bizarre. I didn't realize it was like I did something like really wrong. I was like, I'm like, what is going on?
It's just really weird.
It's like I started eating grass outside or something, or like licked someone's shoe or something. I was like, bro,
it's almost so approaching that level of weird.
It's so weird.
Like people don't. It was not intended for that, and people don't do that usually. Like it's very weird to see.
Well, yeah. To be fair, I mean, I find
if you think about it technically, yeah, it's like cream and milk, which are like meant to be consumed, but it wasn't designed or intended for you to just like drink a whole cup of it.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's not that it's like eating dirt where you could have health ramifications.
You know what?
Whatever,
I felt kink shamed. They kink shamed me from drinking.
Is that a kink? Does it turn you on to drink half and half?
No, but the reaction to it was really taboo. And I'm like, guys, I think eating salad is stupid, but I won't like shame you for eating salad.
I think the reaction was because it's literally one of those things where like people don't expect someone to do it.
I guess, and
it's like so out of the norm.
I guess. Actually, I still don't guess. I'm still like blown away by the reaction.
But you're gonna drink some half and half tonight on the flight.
Yes, I need to remember because I always forget about it.
But you drink it because it tastes good.
I think I like it but to be fair, I know a lot of people can't drink milk by itself. Not okay, minus the lactose-free people. People who do drink milk, they're like, well, I can't drink that by itself. It's disgusting or whatever. I can drink milk by itself. I can drink a full
Just
cup
regular
of milk.
milk?
Yeah,
A lot of people drink milk.
but a lot of people don't.
I know, but like, but a lot of people also do.
Is that weird?
No.
Yeah. So I think
Drinking milk's not weird. They
so drinking cream.
they
and
sell
milk is
so
not weird.
like people in the US, people buy so much milk.
And I'd say like cream.
Drinking milk is not a weird thing.
Like cream by itself.
I think as you get older, when you're a kid, it's more acceptable to drink a glass of milk versus when you're like an adult. Because I think as people get older, like they don't drink milk straight up anymore. But like it's not really like they're more likely to use milk for cereal or for their coffee when you're an adult, rather than when you're a kid, like it's more like socially acceptable to just drink a glass of milk.
Yeah. And now you're doing people doing the almond milk or soy milk crap, right? Like nut milk.
I mean, I do that stuff because I'm trying to go off of dairy. So I have oat milk and almond milk in my fridge, but I don't drink it straight up. I use the oat milk for lattes because I make lattes at home.
Yeah.
So I pour a shot of espresso and I mix it with the oat milk, and that's a latte, but like a non-dairy latte. And then the almond milk, I use it to eat cereal with.
Yeah.
But I don't usually, I mean, it's not weird. I mean, I could just drink the milk straight up, but I don't usually do it.
But why would you use different milks for the cereal? Any reason?
Just for variety.
Oh. Got it. Because you wouldn't taste the milk in the coffee. Like you wouldn't taste it.
I can taste it. If it's like a latte with soy milk versus oat milk, I can taste the difference.
But not versus oat versus almond.
Depending on, I can taste it. It depends. Sometimes you can taste the difference, yeah. If you gave me almond milk latte versus oat milk latte, I can taste the difference.
Oh.
The milk has a different flavor.
So you like the oat taste of the oat?
With lattes, I prefer the oat milk, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just for like variety. There's no like specific like need for me to have different types of nut milks.
Yeah. I'm
in my fridge.
I can eat and drink
variety.
anything. I can literally eat and drink anything.
Sure.
So.
Well, I was doing it primarily for my acne, so.
Oh.
Which I think is fungal acne now, so I'm doing like a whole skincare thing differently for that, and I'm gonna give it a couple of months and we'll see.
Yeah,
if my acne goes away.
No, my diet is probably bad for my acne, but I don't care. I just eat. My priority is food. My first priority is food.
Sustenance.
Sustenance, food, fat,
Yeah.
whatever, cream, sugar. Give it all to me. American food, basically.
American food.
American food.
Well, would you like American cereal?
Well, because it's like super sweet.
Sugary, yeah. You like sweet sugary things.
Yes, like that. The cinnamon toast crunch is.
Yes,
freaking
we were
bomb.
talking about yesterday how we should go to like the Olive Garden or Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, because I heard I think I've gone there before, and I swear the breadsticks were amazing. I'm pretty sure, and I thought
they probably are. They probably taste good,
and I think they were unlimited.
I think they are. I've never been to an Olive Garden before, so I don't know.
I think when I went, it was fresh breadsticks. It was unlimited, and I think there was a sauce. But
we should have AJ and Carl take us there.
Yeah,
we should go with them.
Yeah, it was
when they're back.
But the weird thing was that kind of overshadowed the meal because
the thing
I filled up on the breadsticks.
I think that's kind of it's like when you go to a buffet and like they put the cheap, low quality filling carbs at the front. They give you like the bread and the pasta or whatever up front, and the pricey proteins like the shrimp or the beef or whatever is like later down the line.
Well, luckily as Asian kids, we were taught from a very young age the exact fight plan where you like go seafood first.
Asians know how to work a buffet. Skip the bread, skip the rice, skip the pasta, go straight for the pricey protein.
Do not drink
seafood,
liquid.
the shrimp, the salmon, the beef.
Bruh.
That's what you go for first. Skip the rice, skip the bread, skip the pasta. Anything that's like simple carbs.
Dude, starve yourself. I grew up with like an all
you need to go for the pricey items first.
Pricey first.
You know, white people wouldn't get this. White people just want to be like, oh, you need to go in order.
They're like, oh, I just want the pasta or whatever. I just want the pasta.
You can come back for the pasta, but the thing is, like, if you go in order, your plate is going to be mostly like cheap, low quality carbs that before you get to the pricey good stuff, and you don't have as much room on your plate for that stuff.
I feel
and then when you've eaten your first plate of food, you're gonna be too full to get the good stuff. You need to go for the good stuff right away.
Yeah. Or and even because I hated seafood, and they're like, just still get it. It's like that's the most expensive.
That's
So
a very Asian thing.
they
It's
did
like,
not care.
I don't care if you don't like it.
the most
You're gonna
expensive.
get it
It's the
because
most
this is the good stuff. I don't care if you're allergic and you might die. You're gonna eat some fucking shrimp.
And even when I was growing up too, when I'd go to like a rice noodle restaurant like the pho, and as a young person I couldn't finish it, so I thought just eat the meat. Just eat the meat, we'll go.
True.
Finish the protein, which is the main, and then you can leave the soup in the
Leave
thingy.
behind the filler.
Yeah. So we were taught from a young age, like it drilled into us as like the value, the
very
order,
Asian.
the real food pyramid, the Asian food pyramid of what to do, dude.
It's true.
It was just, and I think
But that's
everyone
just
knows.
that's just good advice. Like if you're at the buffet, go for the expensive shit.
Right.
Like get your money's worth.
It's
Don't
the money's
fill up on fucking white bread.
Yeah. I have regressed as an adult. Like I do now, I'm just like I just want dessert all the time. But I have regressed from that. But I do know the order of the food pyramid. I just actively choose not to.
I don't think
maybe that's growing
I
up.
don't think I actually know what the is it grains at the bottom?
No, I don't actually know that. No, I know the Asian food pyramid. Sorry, it's this. Seafood first.
Tell our viewers what the Asian food pyramid is.
What's the most expensive? So it's seafood first, then it's your protein, and then it's
like meats and stuff.
like your meats,
Seafoods and then meats.
and then it's like the in between. You just know that like rice is last. Rice and the basic pastas last.
Yeah.
Because that's the cheapest filling stuff. And just
solid.
try not to drink water. Try not to drink liquids because your stomach holds liquid and that fills you up.
But the thing is, especially you don't want to mix the liquids with like the bread or the rice because it expands in your stomach.
Yeah, bread's very low too. So
Yeah, bread is like non-existent on the Asian. Bread almost doesn't exist on the Asian food pyramid.
no.
It's
Yeah.
like a Western thing.
But
Bread is a Western
yeah,
thing.
so I still remember my dad's plate and mum's plate was full of all the seafood, like shells and
The
stuff.
only kind of filler that Asians might like is rice.
Maybe, and that's very low though.
Yeah, but that in a buffet situation, you're not going for the rice. In like a regular everyday home cooked dinner, like you're probably gonna have some amount of rice in your whatever. But that's when you're paying for the ingredients.
But
when it's all you can eat buffet, you don't go for the rice.
And I think I just realized that's why like Asian rice bowls are the small things where you go to like a white person, they have like a big rice with the thing. You're meant to have a small rice thing and the most expensive bit to accompany you with. It's just meant to be like a little company to fill up. But
Correct. Yeah. When you go to like a Chinese restaurant,
it's just a small little.
especially for like a Chinese seafood restaurant for dinner,
Yeah.
you can get rice, but the rice is supposed to be a supplement to the vegetables, the seafood, the protein. It's not the main thing that you're eating.
It's a tiny bowl, and
It's a tiny bowl,
and they eat it with chopsticks too.
And you don't
It's
even
like a
eat the
little
whole
bit.
thing. Most of the time, like in Chinese people, like when I go to dinner with my family, eat at a Chinese restaurant, we do order rice, but we don't all get rice. There might be 6 of us. We get like 2 or 3 rice.
Yeah.
Any one of us, we might get half of it. It is literally to eat with the beef, the chicken, the salmon, the shrimp, the fish, like to eat with the protein or to eat with the vegetables. We don't eat a lot of the rice.
You can pretty much almost tell if you eat in a group situation or with people, and if they're like a white person, you can tell if they've eaten or they've like eaten with around Asian people before. You can always
But the thing is, like their
More than the chopsticks.
Their understanding of Chinese food is like it's like the fast food Asian fusion restaurants you see at the airport.
yeah.
What are those called?
Well, but some of the ones who you can tell, like, if by how they order and how they interact, like certain cuisines are meant to be shared. There was this hideous thing.
Like family
It
style.
must be like a TikTok or reel, but it was a video of a yum cha.
Yep.
And it had it spun around with a group of white people eating, and they each had like the guy had a whole snapper.
Correct.
It was so awkward. It just like a massive cringe. I'm like, oh
Chinese
my God,
cuisine is always like family style. So there might be like some protein dishes, some like basically almost every dish is a shared dish.
especially yum cha, dude. Like
The only it's so basically you go to like Yum Cha, like a Chinese restaurant for like lunch or dinner, like you would be sitting at a table. It's gonna be a round table. We don't have like fucking rectangular tables.
Yep.
Round table, and you get a lazy Susan spinning thing in the middle. That's so that everyone can have a little bit of everything.
Yes.
You don't. There's no like you get your own entree. You don't do that at a Chinese restaurant.
that video was horrendous.
In a lot of Asian cultures, you don't get that system.
Yeah, it was just like, what is going on here? But yeah, food is good.
Hilarious. Yeah.
Food is good.
Yeah, but the thing is, me being, I'm not a foodie. I've said this on the podcast before. I'm not a foodie, and my palate is not sophisticated. I cannot tell decent food from like really good food. Like, never bring me to a Michelin star restaurant. Just waste it on me. However, the only time where like I'm a little bit picky is when it comes to Chinese food, because I grew up with Chinese food, like living in China. So something that's like westernized Chinese food, because I'm so not used to it, it tastes gross.
Yep, that makes sense.
Like, you know, like the Asian or Chinese food chains you get in like the US or wherever, like I can't go to those because it just it doesn't taste like Chinese food. It tastes like Asian food to me.
Yep.
It tastes like, I don't know what it tastes like, but it just doesn't taste good to me. If I want Chinese food, I need to go to like an actual Chinese restaurant.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's a poor man's imitation.
Yeah.
Of the sweet and sour pork or whatever.
I think with Japanese food, I think I'm more forgiving. First of all, because I'm not Japanese. So when I get sushi or something, I can pick up sushi from like a Whole Foods, the sushi counter, and I'd be like, oh, this is fine. I think it's just Chinese food that I have that particular pickiness about because I'm Chinese.
I guess, yeah, I'm the same with Vietnamese food, I guess. I'm still hunting for like my experience in authentic Vietnamese food in America, but...
We're about to order pho after this.
Oh my God, we need to eat.
We should order, well, it's 6:30 now, we should order pretty soon.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, we should probably just wrap up the podcast so we can order some pho and then have dinner.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, is there anything you want to leave my viewers with before we sign off? Any words of wisdom?
No, because I'm not very wise. I really don't. I'm literally blank. I'm just thinking about pho.
If we start talking about food, you're not going to be able to think about anything else until you eat.
Blanked. And also, do not come to me for advice. I literally will give you the worst advice or nothing.
Or it's the same. A lot of
for
times.
You? What
for you, you saying something and nothing is pretty much the same.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all nothing. It's actually all garbage.
It's all fillers. Like someone will ask you, like, "Oh, how do you do this?" And then you just talk about, "Oh, this half and half is delicious."
Or like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know. Why do you ask me? I don't know my ages. My age is between 34 and 36, but I don't know what's important."
I think you should know how old you are.
I don't know. Does it really that important? I just know that I'm over 21 for America or over 18. Oh no, I was 18 and then I was 21 and then I had no other.
Don't get mad at the mic because you don't know how old you are.
I don't know my age. But I was born in 88, so I'm like 36.
I can't do math.
See, you didn't know my age.
I'm not. Sure. I'm older than you.
Why should I know my age? There you go. Anyways.
I know my age.
I know your age.
Sure.
You're between 35 and 40, so I'm accurate. Yeah, that's all I need to know.
Great. It's like saying the combo to your lock is between 1,000 and 2,000.
I know what it is.
Huh?
I don't know what it is.
You've written it down. You know my gym locker. But you just used it today and yesterday.
No, you know what I do? I do the life hack. I figured it out. To open it, it needs to be in the open number. So I just like remember that number.
Yeah, that's the number for the lock. That's what
I think I just said the most logical, basic thing, and I'm like, wait, that makes sense because that's how it works.
Well, David is a flight attendant, so if you are ever on a flight with him, don't get on.
Do not just.
If you are about to enter a plane and you see him working that flight, you need to tell them like, I need to get off this plane.
You need to push the freaking door to the toilet, order correct tea and coffee, and then get off, and then I'll be very happy.
You'd be like, you can rely on him to tell you whether the flight has half and half. But you cannot rely on him to conduct an emergency evacuation if something bad happens on the plane.
Anything important, don't rely on me. Do as I do, not as I say. Yeah.
No, not even what you do because you won't know what to do.
Yeah, basically, don't.
I can imagine.
Just my pronouns are none. Just don't refer to me. Just do not.
I just don't have pronouns.
I have no pronouns. My pronouns are none. Nothing.
Okay, and with that, we will see you next week. Where I think next week, depending, maybe normal service will be resumed and I'll conduct a orderly, regular version of the podcast solo. Or, well, you're scheduled to actually visit back in the US maybe once or twice more later this year. So we might have you back on the podcast for comic relief. Not for actual advice.
There's literally no relief. Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Pilgrims. Let's do not do a Thanksgiving episode because I don't know what to.
I'm not going to do it. I mean, I do an episode every week, but it's not going to be I'm not going to have a Thanksgiving themed episode.
Oh, we'll get like overly cancelled because I have ignorance about what
I will
happens.
steer the conversation so that we don't get cancelled. It's just going to take a lot of editing.
I feel like I've been cancelled 85 times already. But
I mean, it's fine if you're cancelled. It's not like your life depends on you not being cancelled.
This is true. I'm literally a nothing. I'm a nothing burger. I'm like a side piece. It's just Joey.
Put that on. We need to put that on our Grindr profile.
What? Just a side piece? It's just a side thing is now. The side
Yeah,
is
the side
is a
thing.
whole
There's a side thing, which is like if you want to watch.
I thought it was just oral.
No, oral is oral. Oral is oral.
No, but that's not a like it's
I think
top-
it is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Is it really?
Oral is oral. Side means like you're not like.
You're not sexual.
It's not that you're sexual. It's like you're watching or something.
I thought it was
We need-
just oral.
No. Oral is oral. Oral is not side. Like
What side is not side? I was like, what is side?
Side means,
maybe it means you like
we need to Google this.
you like bump hips
in
parallel.
incognito mode. I'm gonna Google it. What
What is a
does
side?
side mean?
Dude, I thought it was or like maybe it's no penetration. Maybe it's like just like rubbing, teasing.
We need to like Google.
Like Siri, what is a side?
I need Siri.
Oh, she doesn't know. She's a side.
What are sides? Okay. Grindr has an article like what
Grindr's an article. It's gonna be like
what
triangles.
the Grindr
squares.
blog. So
Someone
a
told me.
side in the sexual sense is an individual who doesn't enjoy giving or receiving anal
I was right.
penetration.
I was right.
Oh, it's okay. So you are partially right, and I'm wrong. But sides prefer less invasive sexual acts
Yep.
such as dry humping,
Yep.
making out, oral sex.
I
So
was
you're right.
extra right.
Intimate touch and massage, mutual masturbation, and other things like that. So not topping or bottoming.
Yeah, I was extra right.
Like non-anal stuff.
I was like oral and not penetration, plus also rubbing.
I thought it was just like I thought oral was oral, and like it wasn't part of.
No,
the-
because it's not a thing. It's not. It's like you're
I
the top,
guess.
you're the bottom or the side. Like I know oral is a word, but in that regard, right? Like you're a noun.
Okay. So if you don't like topping or bottoming, like not
Penetrating.
no anal penetration,
Which is fine. Yeah, no
either way.
Yeah. Yep,
Okay,
yes,
well there you go.
correct.
I learned something new today.
There we go.
Something I didn't thought I would learn from you. Apparently.
Dude, I
Oh my god!
guess
You
this.
did you give some like useful
Wait, that
knowledge?
was-
Did you
that-
dispense useful knowledge on this podcast?
You asked me, and we eventually got to a place where you're like, "What is the knowledge?"
Over an hour later.
I'm teaching people. No, but the question was only like 2 minutes ago. But now I'm like the side guru.
I won't
knew
say
about
you were
it.
the side guru.
Dude, I knew about it.
You knew that it included oral, but you didn't know about the other.
I was like a
parts
triangle. I
of-
knew 3 of the sides. I was like
Three of the
rubbing,
sides.
I was like rubbing, no penetration, and oral. So I was like, I'm a triangle.
Well,
I'm the side guru.
I don't know if that's a gang sign, so please don't do that.
I keep throwing gang signs.
If you
up.
want to see the sign that David just made, which I don't know if I need to censor or not, the video version of this podcast is available on my YouTube
Just a
channel, Just
triangle.
Joey T, and also on Spotify.
I don't know.
But I think we should go order some pho now and have some dinner.
Yeah, don't cancel.
Stop
me.
throwing up
I
signs.
don't know what gang signs. Wait, this is
stop-
fine though. Peace.
I don't know what it. I don't want to have to edit this.
It's just gonna be a bunch of censored. Like, people think I'm doing the finger. Okay, it's a peaceful sign.
what you
I'm a side.
had probably figured by now is
I'm a side.
like it takes a lot of effort to have to babysit this. I can't take him anywhere.
You can take me aside and tell me that.
Yeah, but like I would have to do that so often. I'd rather just not bring you out.
Literally, it's the energy that I have to deal with, and then people around me have to put up with. It's like they need the Xanax to deal with me. I'm anxiety.
And on that note, I'm gonna go grab my Xanax. All right, everybody, we'll see you next week. Bye.